Meeting will come to order. Mrs. Gore, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Benjamin.
Present.
Ms. Conley.
Present.
Ms. Williams.
Present.
Mr. Lamar.
Present.
Dr. Diop.
Present.
Mr. Benjamin, would you lead us in the pledge to the flag?
I will.
And if everyone will remain standing for a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Well, we're excited that we have Arlington Middle School students in the house tonight, so that's a great thing. We're so excited you're here. So I am going to turn this over to Arlington Middle School, and I want to thank Ms. Banks for making sure our students and our parents, bringing them too, by the way. Thank you very much. And also Ms. Carter, I think you're going to lead us off. Thank you, Ms. Carter.
Hi, good evening. On behalf of Arlington Middle School, Ms. Banks, Ms. Hamm, these students and I, we'd like to thank you for the opportunity for you to listen to our outdoor classroom proposal for future funding. Due to Ms. Hamm and I being accepted to the Tennessee Rural STEM Collaborative, this project may become a reality, a dream that has been one for past Arlington Middle School teachers and students. We were tasked with the creation of a project that we would like to present to this collaborative that we would like future funding for. And if our project is selected through our region, then it would be spotlighted in the Rural STEM Collaborative magazine. And we appreciate your time in letting us present our proposal to you this evening on our outdoor classroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carter.
Hello, I'm Stacy Hamm. I'm a sixth grade teacher at Arlington Middle School. I teach STEM. I'm here with this great group of students. So we started this about 2 years ago. So if you see in the pictures, they didn't want me to show any of these. But this is them as sixth grade. And Josh, I'm so glad you're here too. So Josh was on our team back in sixth grade. He's in high school now. So they were in the first Lego League. This is 2 years ago before COVID. And we were tasked with the same sort of thing, as we were creating a space to improve our community, and we had a lot of different ideas, and then they finally settled on this one to create an outdoor space. So we started this 2 years ago, then COVID hit, and then things kind of stopped a little bit until we started, then we got back into the Tennessee Rural STEM Initiative, and we got a little bit of money there, and it kind of has spiraled since Lead Arlington in that presentation. So the kids are here to tell you a little bit about our dream.
Thank you, Ms. Hamm.
Hi, my name is Raina Darby, and I'm in 8th grade at Arlington Middle School. I am interested in taking medical and entrepreneurship classes in high school, and I've been on the First Lego League team for 2 years. I'm currently taking Physical Science Algebra 1 and Spanish 1. The outdoor classroom can reduce anxiousness, stress, and depression that the students may feel, create a space where students can free their mind and be creative, improve their concentration, allow students to be interactive with the experiments that they can do in, like outside in the outdoor classroom, and give students vitamin D, increase serotonin, which is a hormone released in the body that makes you feel happy, which the sun gives people.
My name is Savannah Holmel. I'm in 8th grade and I'm interested in taking entrepreneurship classes in high school. I've been in Perennial Math, Apex, and STEM Club for 2 years, and I'm currently in STEM 1. With an outdoor classroom, we students can build positive relationships and work better with each other. We would have more creativity when we aren't cooped up in a classroom all day, and we can cooperate with a group of people. We can get our energy out. Since middle school doesn't have recess, there's no place to get our energy out. With an outdoor classroom, we can be outside and get energy out so we don't disturb teachers in other classes. It also gives us the chance to socialize and work together. We can do projects with a group of people and cooperate with each other.
My name is Lucas Brady, and I am in 8th grade. I am interested in going into the engineering careers, and I am currently taking Physical Science, STEM 1, and Algebra 1. The reasons we selected this space, if I could bring your attention over here, is it's very safe. It's enclosed by walls on 3 sides. So it's also incredibly easy to access because there's a main hallway running across here, the cafeteria is right here, and the 400th hallway, which is where 6th grade mostly is right here. This is the space that we would like to turn into our outdoor classroom. This is just the grid that we drew so that we could see, and we would think that this could be a seating area. And then for more reference, this is the main hallway, the 400th hall, and then the cafeteria. There is a small drainage thing that we can work around if we plan on doing this project. This is the sketch of the design that we concocted. And as you can see, there is a main learning area over here with canopies and seating. And then there is plant places where we can conduct experiments and a greenhouse with a workbench. And then there will be picnic tables that are accessible to most children. And for more reference, the cafeteria, main hallway. Thank you.
So this is phase 1, which is funded by the TSIN. And the Boy Scouts will refurnish the picnic tables that are already over here. We will add a teacher demo cart, which teachers can roll out to the outdoor classroom space and teach. And that's.
Phase 2 will be hopefully funded by some local stakeholders. On Friday, the Kiwanis of Arlington will visit AMS to present a check to help fund our outdoor classroom. We will purchase a storage cabinet to store gardening tools. We will have gardening boxes and a workbench for kids to do experiments, and we will purchase soil, seeds, water hoses, things like that.
Hello, my name is Sawyer Rosleys. I'm a student at AMS in 8th grade, and I am taking Algebra 1, Physical Science, and STEM 1. We will have a concrete flooring instead of grass over on the area, as you see on this gray over here, as well as we'll fix this drainage issue right here, because who wants to roll their ankle on a school day, you know? That would be terrible. We would also add wheelchair accessible picnic tables down here, and these are ADA approved, and they are they're pretty expensive, so we're gonna use wood, and this is gonna have the final phase of it. We have raised seating around the tree over here, and this would be the tree, and this is around the raised flower beds, and then these canopies will be right here, so we can not get sunburned, because sunburn in a rolled ankle would be terrible. That'd be even worse. And also we'd remove this this drainage grid before everything, so then when you're working, you don't roll your ankle either. Gotta protect the ankles out there. And here's a video. Hello, welcome to Arlington Middle School. This is your outdoor classroom. Here, we'll have a demonstration table, gardening supplies, and storage. Ding! Over here, we'll do STEM projects and science labs. Ding! We are so excited to show you this outdoor classroom, and we're excited to make it a possibility. Over here, We have an ELA space where you can read books and do ELA projects. The sky's the limit, literally. If you have lights outside, you might as well have class outside. Over here, we have gardening, we'll have gardening boxes and gardening class and stuff like that. Over here, the drainage space that we'll get rid of, and this will all be a cool classroom. Hello. I'm gonna watch the video again. This is our kind of a rough idea, and we kind of almost not mirrored it, but we kind of took it into consideration when we made ours. There's gonna be some STEM areas down here, and then up here some geographical, the world map. This tree, as we talked about earlier, if you saw the tree out there right now, it's not looking like this at all. But we planned the seasons for that one. Here, I think the art room would be very happy to see a big space of color and a place to work. I feel like having a lot more space and using a ground area for chalk and just a lot of different materials you can use that you can't really use in a normal classroom. Performing arts, we ought to come out here, and performing arts like band, orchestra, and chorus need a big room and a ton of space so they can, and soundproof walls, as we know, so then the whole school doesn't hear them. And out here, I feel like it'd be perfect because there's a ton of room, and there's a ton of band kids out of our school, a ton of orchestra, a ton of chorus. I feel like if you come here, it's kind of like a inhaler, kind of get a breath of fresh air, and you can sing and play your instruments at full capacity, except for orchestra. They kind of just get the sun. It brings a whole new look. If I saw this as an adult, drop my kid off for school, I'd feel like the grades are much higher around here than my old school when I was their age. It's would enhance the learning. I feel like sometimes you get not bored, but school kind of just gets repetitive. And I feel like this would kind of give a whole new idea to school, having all this new space and all this new ideas, all this whole new look for the school, and just having colored floors is crazy at this point for some kids. And I feel like even special ed can use it. Kind of gives them a new look for the classroom because they need some change once in a while. Thank you for my time, and then we can give it off to Ms. Banks.
Ms. Banks, you can tell why we were excited. I love him.
I know, and I want you all to know the students have worked so hard on this presentation. This is really their brainchild, and they thought of this as sixth graders. And so to see this and see them put all this effort and work into it, it just makes me proud. But I want you to know we appreciate you all allowing us to come and to present, and I hope you can see how excited they are. I told them, I was like, unfortunately, they may not be able to enjoy this outdoor classroom fully because they're leaving us, but that this is their contribution to AMS, and that students after them will be able to enjoy it for years to come. So just wanted to let y'all know what we were working on at Arlington Middle. Thank you.
Great. Wow, great job. Mm-hmm. We appreciate you coming, and thank you, parents, for bringing them, as I said.
Hey, can I ask a
Sure.
question? So is there so I know you're doing some of it yourself, and then I know you're going to ask for some business support from that too. I mean, is there an ask for us, or is there an ask for the board for part of this? I'm interested in that as well. This was fantastic, and I'm intrigued. So
That'll be on my wish list at the end of the year when we're given an opportunity to say what you would like to have.
Yeah.
So that's going to be on my wish list.
fantastic. Thank you.
I understand one of the civic organizations here in Arlington is going to come to your school Friday, is that correct?
Correct, and that was because of Lee Arlington. He saw this presentation, and so Mr. Don Oliver, and he is coming this Friday, and he's going to present a check to us. And then also First Citizens Bank, which he works there, they're also interested in helping us with this project as well.
I think it's the Kiwanis is the one who's making the donation.
This Friday, it's the Kiwanis of Arlington.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
That's good.
Well, that's great. We're going to just say again, thank you so much for coming. We really, really appreciate it. Now, if you don't want to stay for the meeting, we're not going to make you. We promise. So you
It's
may.
all downhill from here.
But it is nice to see all these faces out here.
It is nice. So if you need to leave, we certainly understand, but we really appreciate you coming. And thank you for bringing our students. Okay, Ms. Gore, do we have any citizens' comments? Thank you, Ms. Gore. Is there a motion to approve the November 16, 2021 agenda?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Lamar, seconded by Mr. Benjamin. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the motion's carried. Reports. I have a very short report. Just want to remind you that, of course, we're having our conference and convention this week, but let's do something we have really tried over the years to do, and I'm hoping this year we can accomplish this goal. Saturday, November 20th, is the day that the boards can show the pride in their school system. So we are going to need to wear our Arlington Community School shirts, coats, sweaters, whatever it may be, so they can see us and know we're from Arlington Community Schools. So I'm hoping we'll all be able to do that this time and show our school spirits, or actually our school system spirits. So just want to make sure I get a plug for that. And don't forget to pack a sweater, a coat that says Arlington Community Schools, or I think we have jackets, we have sweaters, we have shirts. Oh, we have a vest, don't we? We have a vest like you have.
Vest, yeah.
Yeah. So any of that, let's show our pride on Saturday. So I just wanted to say that. And of course, the only other thing is that the dress is casual for all events except for that infamous awards reception and ceremony, in which Sunday dress is appropriate. So just wanted y'all to know that also. Okay, Mr. Mayo, Superintendent's report.
Okay. First of all, I want to let everyone know, and you probably saw the email I sent out last evening actually, that we will be having our Q2 celebration, holiday celebration for our employees the week of December the 6th. And as always, we want to continue to thank our employees for their hard work during these ever-changing, difficult times. And that's all I'm going to say about that, other than I need you all to sign up for a day as well. You can go to any of the spreadsheets and sign up for whatever day works best for you. If you would like to participate in that, you're certainly welcome to do so. Something I received in the mail this week that I wanted to share with the board is our acceptance to the Tennessee Arts Academy. We've been named as a Tennessee Arts Academy school district. And so I'm going to read a little bit of the letter to you. I'll be skipping around on that. First of all, it just says, Dear Superintendent Mayo, congratulations. It is with a great deal of pride that we write to notify you that your school system has been named as a 2021-2022 Tennessee Arts Academy Arts Partner School. Please find a closed certificate that we hope you will prominently display. By supporting teachers to attend the annual Tennessee Arts Academy, you all have demonstrated your commitment and belief in the significant value of arts education in our schools and the equally important role the arts play in our individual lives and cultures. So it's got much more on there, but I'm not going to read all of that. I just wanted to make you aware of that, and they did send us a certificate that we can display. Mr. Goforth and I started working with, some of you may remember Mr. Bluestein from Germantown High School. He's retired now, but now he is actually one of the chairman of the board of directors for this organization. And so he approached us last year about being interested in this, so we ended up sending some educators to participate in this, to bring back to our students. And so as a result of that, we were named as one of the Tennessee Arts school districts. So we are happy to receive that honor, because certainly one of the things we want to do as a district is offer a variety of opportunities for our students in all areas: arts, athletics, business, STEM, manufacturing, all of those areas that we can offer students. We want to certainly continue to do that. So I wanted to make you aware of that. Legislation update, I'm not even going to attempt to go there. I'm going to leave that to Ms. Speakman. I put that pressure on her today or the other day to talk with us about that. So she's going to share some information with you about that in a few minutes. A few of us did have the opportunity yesterday to attend an introductory meeting around the Blue Oval City mega site. I think it's changed names a few times in the last couple of weeks, so I think that's the name of it. But anyway, Dr. Rayner, who's the president of TCAT, invited the superintendents to come to this meeting where some of the executives from Ford came into town to actually start the conversations with superintendents on what maybe their needs are going to be and how we can, as a school district, perhaps help them meet those needs as far as workforce is concerned. I'll be honest with you, the meeting yesterday, it was sort of all over the place because it was the first meeting, and I think people were springboarding off of other conversations, so I think we'll get more definitive information as we move through that. But as I said, it was the first initial meeting, but we were happy to be invited and be a part of that. Mr. Goforth actually attended with me, as well as Ms. Kim Douglas, our secondary supervisor, who's also over CTE. So we at least had an opportunity to meet some of those individuals and have conversation about it, which I'm sure it's going to continue to accelerate as we move toward that. And certainly we're in a good position with where we're located to the mega site. We're the closest municipal district to what's going to be the mega site. So there definitely will be some opportunities for us to collaborate with that project. I also want to remind you that tonight is the AHS open house for new and prospective students interested in attending AHS and learning more about the programs. That starts at 6:30 tonight. If we're out of here and you want to run by there, certainly feel free to do so. But that's an opportunity for any new prospective student to attend Arlington High School to learn about those programs. Something exciting that I found out today, I actually found out a few days ago, but I wasn't allowed to say, and today I found out that I was allowed to say, so I'm going to let you know this. We were notified today that we have been named as a top workplace again this year. We don't know where we rank. We won't know that probably till December the 16th. There will not be an in-person banquet as there has been in the past. It will again be virtual. And I will send you the invitation to that, but I will warn you, it's not really exciting to watch it virtually. It's a slideshow. And so Tyler confessed today that he fast forwarded to the end just so he could see where we ranked. And we did rank third last year, and that we were the only school district that ranked in the top 3 last year. So hopefully we did that, or maybe we even did better. So we'll find that out on December the 16th. But I will forward you that invitation so you can have that, join it, sign it if you want to, or if you don't, we'll tell you about the outcome later.
You did such a good job selling it.
I'm
thrilled by this.
So that's really all the announcements that I have. I've been in touch with you about other things that I felt were pertinent over the weekend and this week as we've entered this week. So these are the only new things that I haven't shared with you. And I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving because we won't see each other again until after that holiday. So with that, we have some departmental reports to give at this point. Dr. Clark, Human Resources, is up first.
Guys, while she's walking up here, I just wanted to say to the board, I got an email today about West Tennessee School Board members, and so it's about the mega site, and there's going to be a meeting of anyone that's interested Saturday, November 20th, 7:30 to 8:30. I can forward that email if you guys are interested in attending that, but I have obligations for the Tennessee TSBA Board of Directors, and I can't go.
Is it AM or PM?
It's AM.
7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Ryman Ballroom AB. And it's just what the superintendent was referring to. It's school board members getting together, talking about that mega site, and everybody's invited. So,
Yeah, will you send that on?
sir,
We send that on.
I will forward that. Yes.
And that's one of the things we've talked about casually about this project is at some point, there's probably going to have to be some type of collaborative that's established that has representation of superintendents, chambers of commerce, school board members, different ones, because otherwise there's a lot of meetings and groupings going on initially with people being excited about it. But, you know, in order to manage it, I think that we'll probably see something like that coming, you know, as a result.
The Arlington Chambers, and Tanya Hamill's very involved in this. She's been to several meetings she's told me about. So
right.
the Arlington Chamber is really involved in this project.
Well, it's the board's chance to jump on if you want to go to that meeting. I'm sure they'll take any volunteers.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just a few updates. One is a couple of weeks ago, we just finished having a Tennessee Association of School Personnel Administrators. I got selected to serve as the president of that organization. It's one of those things.
Congratulations.
So I found out that one of the responsibilities of the president was to have a conference, a fall conference and a spring conference. Of course, I've never attended this conference, so I didn't know what, you know, I was fortunate enough, Kennedy had attended. She was gracious enough to give me an agenda on her site, and then Mr. Mayo as well. And so that was very helpful. As always, we are blessed in this school district that will support each other and help one another. And Tyler Hill, he was very willing to present. We co-presented. You may recall the movie, the little video clip that we shared with you last year when we were in a virtual position of how do we recruit virtually? What can I do to, you know, reach out and really distinguish ACS from other school districts? And so we shared that video and some of our strategies that we've worked through together from a communications and HR perspective, and it was well received. And then of course Valerie Speakman was gracious enough to present a session there, and all of the sessions were well received, and I do appreciate them supporting me in that role. We had 120 in person, because last year that conference, the fall and spring, they were virtual, so we had 120 in-person participants at that conference. We have an assistant principal's position, as you well know, that Ms. Turner will be retiring at the end of this semester, and Ms. Hawkins and myself, we've been interviewing for the past 2 days, and we just recently completed those interviews, and she will be making a recommendation. Substitutes, we have about approximately a 90% fill rate, so I can share with you having the opportunity to collaborate with other HR personnel across the state. I feel we're very fortunate because they're having struggles much greater than ours, and we have a lot of our retired teachers that are coming back and helping us, and we're very blessed. So I feel we're in a great position, especially when I start speaking to other human resource directors and chiefs across the state. So as always, I appreciate all the support you give us in our district and helping us be the one that people want to come to.
But Dr. Clark, we've got a nice hotel they can stay at now, so that's a big plus.
I know, that's a plus.
Okay, Mr. Goforth? No report. Ms. Douglas?
No report.
All right. Mr. Ruff? No report. Did you get all of that outdoor classroom stuff? Okay, all right. Just want to make sure. Ms. Speakman.
Good evening, everyone. There's been a lot of misinformation about the new state law and about an OSHA regulation, and so Mr. Mayo said, look, please just try to simplify this as best you can and, you know, get rid of some of the misinformation that's on social media and internet and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to do my best to make it as simple as possible, but it's pretty dang complex, just to be honest with you. So on November 5th, OSHA issued an emergency temporary standard, and it required employers that have over 100 employees to require either vaccinations or the person has to be tested once a week and wear a face mask. And so what happened is a bunch of the attorneys general throughout the United States questioned that regulation, and they filed lawsuits. The Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is not our Court of Appeals here, has spoken out already and said, this isn't going to go. We think that this doesn't work. And so now in the Sixth Circuit, several of the states have now been combined as of this afternoon. And those cases will be consolidated and heard through the Sixth Circuit to see what they say about this OSHA regulation. So that's kind of the latest and greatest on that, as simple as I can make it. Now, on November 11th, as you know, Governor Lee signed what is referred to as the Omnibus Bill, which had several parts to it, but here are the main ones, okay? One of them talks about the fact that governmental entities cannot require people to have COVID vaccines, and it can't require proof of vaccinations if you're going to come into our building. So that's that piece of it. The second piece of it has to do with face masks, and I know you've heard a lot about that. So let me clue you into what the law specifically provides. Number one, it says that a school district can require face coverings under these circumstances. Number one, the principal must submit a written request to the school board to request a policy. Number two, though, the governor has to have declared a state of emergency. And number three, a county must have had an average rolling 14-day COVID-19 infection rate of at least 1,000 new known infections for every 100,000 residents. So if all those things are satisfied, a school district can have a mask mandate, but it can only be for 14 days at a time. After that 14 days, you have to go through all those steps again. The governor has to have declared an emergency. You have to have had that number of cases that I talked about. The principal has to have submitted a policy to the board. So that's that piece. The second piece, though, under the school mandate, says that a school district must also consider requests for reasonable accommodations by students with disabilities, meaning that if a student with a disability comes to a school and says, hey, I can't access my education unless everybody wears face masks, then the school has to consider that request. Now, the law says that that student then, if it were granted that reasonable accommodation, must be surrounded by other students that wear specifically N95 masks if they're over the age of 12, or a 95% filtration mask if they're under the age of 12.
Will you repeat that one more time? Just that piece right there.
About what kind of mask you have to wear?
And if there's somebody's surrounding them, we say that piece again.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Sorry.
So let's say that a student with a disability comes to a school and says, hey, look, let's say I'm immunocompromised and I can't be at school unless people around me wear masks because that puts me at risk. Then the school would have to consider that request, and if the school found that reasonable accommodation should be granted, then they would have to surround that student with other students that are wearing N95 masks if they're ages 12 and up, or if under 12, a 95% filtration mask. And those masks have to be provided by the school district at the school district's expense. So, of course, the tricky piece about it is that it's hard to get N95 masks, number one, and number two, they're pretty costly. But, when you buy a whole bunch of them at a time. In any event, though, that the law, the federal law that's driving this piece of that legislation of course, must be followed if there's a finding that someone's disability should be reasonably accommodated. Well, that's one of the pieces of the law that has now been challenged by a group of disabled students through their parents in Nashville. Previously, in Shelby County, a group of disabled students through their parents filed a similar lawsuit in Shelby County making the same argument. And Judge Lippman ruled in their favor, finding that Governor Lee's executive order, where he previously said, you remember, that masks were to be optional, the judge found that that compromises those disabled students' ability to get their education. And so she said that can't be enforced. That executive order couldn't be enforced. That is on appeal, of course, to the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. Of course, we know since that time, though, Governor Lee the Tennessee General Assembly has passed a law. So it's not, now we're not just considering an executive order, we're considering a state law that says the things that I talked about a minute ago, that you can't have masks unless those things are satisfied, and unless somebody asks for a reasonable accommodation. So that now new state law has been challenged in Nashville, and again by disabled students through their parents, and the federal judge in that lawsuit has said that school districts must maintain the status quo of what they were doing on Thursday of last week. They must maintain that status quo until this case is considered. And this case will be considered initially this Friday. Now, so where does that leave us? It kind of leaves a lot of people in no man's land, because some people believe that the court was saying that lawsuit pertains to every school district in the state, and some people believe that it pertains to those school districts in which there were plaintiffs represented in that lawsuit. For example, Germantown Municipal School District, Collierville Municipal School District, Williamson County, Franklin, etc., Franklin Special. So, and Knox County. I believe I got them all. Metro Nashville. So, so when you've seen the communications that Mr. Mayo has sent out on behalf of the district, and he talks about the fact that certain things are unclear, that's, for example, one of those. A lot of legal scholars in the state are very concerned about, in particular, the provision that I talked about reasonable accommodation that is in that state law. Because, as you all know, people with disabilities can't be segregated from other people. And to the extent that the law requires that, their view is that it's contradictory to the Americans with Disabilities Act, and is therefore should be stricken. So that's a key piece of that legislation that is going to be considered by the federal judge in this Nashville case. To let you know some other things that have been happening, though, is that as I said, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals has stricken down the OSHA regulation, at least for now, but other circuits are considering it. But a lot of federal courts throughout the United States are striking down laws that are similar to this new law that we have in the state regarding face mask wearing. As a matter of fact, the day before Governor Lee signed the law, a federal judge in Texas found that their governor's executive order, which provided that masks would be optional, did in fact violate the rights of disabled students and enjoined the state from enforcing that Texas executive order. So I'm happy to answer any questions that I can. That's kind of where we are. Certainly not taking a position. I'm not taking a position personally or otherwise, one way or the other, as to what the sufficiency is of the new state law or otherwise, but just wanted to kind of give you guys the lay of the land. So it's very sticky, and we understand that people are very passionate about this subject, and no one, I think I could speak for myself and my colleagues here, no one would be happier if this was all clearly resolved so that we all knew what the heck to do without, offending anyone. So, any questions that I can answer? All right, thanks.
Thought we'd have been fighting about masks 2 years ago.
I literally have done nothing else for 2 weeks than do this. I've got a lot of stuff I could be doing, but anyway, thank y'all for
Hey, thank you for that. It's helpful.
Thank you, Ms. Speakman. Now, you know why I didn't touch that. Mr. Hill had to go over to the high school to help with setup, and he did not have a report. And Ms. Roberts, you're going to share some information when you do your financial report, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayo. Financial report, Ms. Roberts.
Good evening. For the financial report for September 2021, general fund revenues, $6,527,151. Expenditures, $8,598,53. Nutrition fund revenues, $534,180. Expenditures, $284,256. Federal and discretionary grants fund revenues, $494,354. Expenditures, $500,843. CIP fund revenue, $1,264,451. Expenditures, $815,356. For the interlocal health trust report, as of September 2021, year-to-date revenues, $8,269,758. Year-to-date expenses, $10,197,808. Beginning balance, $12.4 million, with the ending balance of $10.4 million. And then with the permission of the superintendent, I have an additional report. It's the GASB 7475 actuarial valuation for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2021. And this is for Arlington Community Schools. And so the GASB actuarial report for Statement 74 is the financial reporting for post-employment benefits plan other than pension plans. And the GASB Statement number 75 is the accounting and financial report by employers for post-employment benefits other than pensions. And so I'm only gonna hit, it's about a 30, almost 40-page report, but I'm gonna hit just a couple of pages to give you the update. And this will also be part of our audit report. So you'll see those numbers are encompassed in our audit report, which also rolls into the towns. So I'll give you as a comparison as of June 30th, 2020, and then as of June 30th, 2021. So as of June of 2020, we had a total OPEB liability of $8.3 million. As of 2021, total OPEB liability $8.2 million. With actuarial value of assets as of June of 2020 at $2.7 million, and as of June 2021, $4 million. With a net OPEB liability June 2020 of 5.5, and as of June 2021, 4.1. So our net OPEB liability has decreased from 5.5 million to 4.1, and we're funded at 49.6%. Now, just a few factors that could change. This report is done each year and it's updated. So a few factors that could impact this report in future years is the plan's experience differing from the anticipated by the economic or demographic assumptions, changes in economic or demographic assumptions, increases or decreases expected as part of the natural operation of the methodology that's used, or changes in the plan provisions or applicable law. So when we look at our, let me see here, as a percentage of our covered payroll of June 2020, our OPEB was 28.5%, and now it's at 23.5%. As a contribution, our actuarial determined contribution for June 2020 was $719,000. As of June 2021 is $920,000. The contributions we made for June 2020, $315,000, and of June 2021, $661,000. As a percentage of covered payroll, June 2020, we contributed 1.6%, and as of June 2021, we've contributed 3.8% of our covered payroll. And that concludes the financial reports.
Ms. Roberts, may I ask you a favor? Will you send me just those initial numbers? I'm going to present again on OPEB Trust on Saturday, I guess. And that'd be great to have those numbers. Just the initial where we were and where we are. Nothing super fancy.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Roberts. All right, Mr. Lamar, I bet you do not want to make a TLN report because Ms. Speakman did such a fine job.
Absolutely.
There you go. Is there a motion to approve the items on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
It's been moved by Dr. Viak, seconded by Mr. Benjamin. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. The ayes have it, the motion's carried. Superintendent Mayo, would you please lead us through the rest of our agenda?
Okay. This lets you know how dependent you are on technology.
Well, I was just thinking how much harder it is to find
Yeah,
I know.
I'm trying to
all this paper.
It's usually on the screen in front of us, but we have a tech problem here this afternoon that wasn't resolved. Okay, so under your miscellaneous budget items, we have item 9A, Resolution 2021-19 of the Arlington Community Schools Board of Education amending the 2021-2022 schools budget. Again, this is our usual monthly transfers within departments for benefits, salaries, instructional materials, a variety of things that we are able to transfer money within accounts that requires your approval, but does not require overall budget approval since it has not changed the amount of the budget with the town. So with that, my recommendation is that you approve Resolution 2021-19 of the ACS Board of Education amending the 2021-2022 schools budget.
Motion to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Dr. Viox, a second by Ms. Conley. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. All right, the ayes have it. Motion is carried.
Okay. The next item is under item 10, business recommended action items. 10A, Resolution 2021-20 of the Arlington Community Schools Board of Education amending the 2021-2022 schools fee schedule. And you're familiar with this, that we, every month, we bring any additional fees that have been added as a result of field trips or club fees or anything like that that has not been previously approved by the board but is required to be approved. You can see there are, I think, 3 additional new fees on this item. So with that, it is my recommendation that you approve Resolution 2021-20 of the ACS Board of Education amending the 2021-2022 schools fee schedule.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Benjamin, seconded by Ms. Conley. Is there any discussion?
I'm proud of those guys that do number 1.
Weightlifting.
Olympic weightlifting.
There you go.
I love it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
As opposed say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. I'm going to, I'm going to move the next item on our budget, the approval of our superintendent's evaluation instrument. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ooh, y'all are tied. Mr. Lamar, we'll say that you seconded. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Well, the next thing is adjournment. Do I have a motion?
Move.
So moved by Ms.
Second.
Conley, seconded by Dr. Viox. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.
We can shred.
See, I didn't talk.